Hi, Pisces rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 2nd of February until the 8th of February. First up is Venus and Mercury, both in sextile to Chiron in your second house, and Mercury and Venus are still in your 12th. This might be a spiritual download, like intuitively feeling to solve certain type of financial insecurities, especially of course if it's in the last 5 years your finances were upside down with Chiron being there. This is also about monetizing your healing abilities and potentially, let's say, offering it to an audience. This is also about finding beauty in silence, which helps you realize your true inner worth. Or you are going through this private healing session or healing journey, and that restores your faith in your ability to provide for yourself. Or you are kind of like having a conversation with your subconscious, and that might be dissolving a long-standing self-worth issue, mentality issue, and so forth. Or imagine there is this invisible guardian which is going to be leading you to this new value system, to this new confidence. Or you can even realize that your dreams are actually your most valuable assets, and you need to be listening to them a little bit more. Or it's kind of like finding wealth in solitude. But surely it's about forgiving yourself as well, or thinking about, oh my days, how much time or effort or money I have wasted, like wasted my resources, for example, in the past. Your inner world is somehow going through a healing process there. Yes, the danger here could be that you might be feeding your inner worth by spending money, for example, on yourself, due to the fact that you want to get validated. You want your self-worth to be validated. We have got Hopi Phaeton entering your third house, and your mind is racing. It looks like you've got a lot of new ideas, but maybe you are being asked to slow down a little bit, or when you are speaking, you're going to have to be able to speak with the right course of action. And then you have got Nemesis entering your 11th house, staying there for an entire year. So that could really talk to us about that there might be a rivalry happening within your social circle, within your networking, and you're gonna have to be able to audit who you trust, how to protect your professional reputation. So of course, with that Mercury and Venus element, um, in a way, it feels like that you have got a dream. And if you listen to that dream, that could be leading to financial solutions. Or you realize that you have got certain type of financial fears, and that is actually feeding, fed through your subconscious. You might start meditating and healing sessions, and that restores your faith, maybe in humanity, in your own abilities. It's about realizing your own invisible talents, and maybe potentially you've got a lot of new ideas coming in. Now we've got Saturn on 29 degree of Pisces, which is your first house, and you are finishing up a 2.5 year kind of like master's exam on who you are, how disciplined you are. It's a final audit of who you are versus who you were is pretty much taking place. So we're going to have to be able to do a bit of a comparison here. 3 years ago compared to right now. But you can feel this final pressure as well to become an authority figure, to make changes within your physical body, or when it comes to your personal brand. You might be ending a personal brand of yours, and you are ready to, because it might not have worked in the bestest possible way. So I'm ready to kind of launch a new personal brand. It's kind of like the heavy lifting here. So you might start feeling actually that the burden is about to be lifting, and you might feel that things are actually moving into the right direction. But that Saturn in Aries is going to require a bit more courage. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a separate video because, of course, Saturn is a big gun moving into the sign of Aries. We're going to have to cover that more in depth. Now we've got Sun sextiling series, another 12 and second house activation. And I think it's slightly bit similar to that Venus and Mercury Chiron combination as well, but it's about inner nourishment. It's about finding a nurturing way to spend your solitude. It's about figuring out those financial fears as well. It's finding joy in a way of sometimes being alone and invisible as well. But series is about growth. So spirituality can increase your finances, can bring you financial growth. But it looks like that you have to be upgrading something in your life. We've got Mercury entering your first house this week. It's the sign of Pisces. And this is a pivotal period because Mercury is going to be spending 2.5 months in the sign of Pisces. Due to its retrogression starting on 22 degree. We're going to be talking about this in the upcoming month. Mercury is going to be making a bunch of aspects, so I'm going to make a separate video about this, of course. But it's about finding your voice. Your identity is returning to this natural state, this intuitive state. You might be finding yourself broadcasting your personality, who you are. Maybe it's just portraying more of a vibe rather than just the facts. Or you're going to have to make a decision about your personal brand, reviewing your own brand, maybe returning to something that you used to do. Or you are ready to communicate this new sense of self to the world, kind of like selling a vision of your own. But your body can become a little bit more fluid. So Mercury might be telling you to be careful with that. Mercury is the ruler of your seventh house. So if you are single, this could be bringing a spiritual connection too, which might feel like that this is meant to be. We've got Venus in your 12th house, squaring Uranus in your third house. And potentially, this is a spiritual breakthrough. This is potentially you ready to liberate yourself from certain type of mental habits or the scripts that you have created for yourself, or you've got an unexpected dream or intuition that can be disrupting certain type of conversations with others, or you are ready to break free from a hidden fear that was limiting your speech. So it's kind of like speaking up honestly about something. Venus actually rules the speech in your chart, the ruler of your third house. So there is something shocking to share with others, or you have got certain type of upgrades when it comes to your social media elements, your spirituality, and so forth. Or it could even indicate that you discover a secret. That is a bit of a shocking about your immediate circle, siblings, neighbors. Hopi and Phaeton enters Taurus, which is your third house. And it looks like your mind is on a race. We have got a lot of new ideas, and we might be considering the right course of action, or we are trying to figure out the right words so that we are not scorching people around us. Or there could be a sudden shift happening in your local environment, which might be upsetting your inner peace a little bit, or you are ready to learn something new. And often the risk is that we want to learn everything at once. But Taurus says we're just going to have to take it a little bit slow. Let's keep that mind more grounded. Let it go at a steady pace. Or maybe kind of like a connection that is moving very fast forward. But it is surely asking us when it comes to communication, we're going to have to do that with integrity. And Nemesis entering your 11th house might be talking to us about a certain type of a rivalry with a friend of yours. And that's why we're going to have to be reviewing who to trust, how we protect our reputation. Potentially, it's also about gains when it comes to like money gains, gains from profession and so forth. So we even are going to be reviewing what we charge for certain elements. I think your mood can be a little bit upside down. Maybe it's a little bit more difficult to relax with a very heavy 12th house. Maybe with Mercury and Venus conjunction connected to Chiron, might be talking to us about certain type of relationship discoveries that we make, or we're gonna have to be able to kind of like talk about what we need there. We can get a little bit more stressed this week as well. We can feel a little bit more anxious or insecure about the relationships that we've got. But at the end of the day, it really feels like that this could be a successful week, which might be bringing you more confidence, more money, especially if you are able to kind of keep your state of mind in kind of like check. Surely it feels like that you want to be achieving something. Like you have got a goal here and you want to be making it tangible. You want to be making it financially rewarding. But Saturn on 29 degree might be telling you that we're going to have to focus on a single goal rather than having too many ideas at once and then basically they just slip through our fingers. You might start a new course, you might study something because you want to be improving your career department. Or I can even imagine actually that you are ready with that second house activation, that I'm ready to take on a new job, I'm ready to get promoted, I'm ready to kind of ask for a pay rise as well. The major question here is whether you feel confident in your own abilities, in your own talent. So this is your weekly energy pattern. So good luck, Pisces, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.